It's the Jim and Terry Show without Jim, who's still having fun in the sun, but there's still news. News that's worth poking around with a cup of coffee. And I have mine, a fresh, dark roast, freshly ground from Victoria, British Columbia. Yeah, so cheers to a gift from my family to someone who enjoys a dark roast and fresh ground from a roaster in Victoria. So, wow. That is one good dark roast. What's in the news? Oh, a lot. And if you want to find out, we got to start with a clip that just says so much with so few words. Here we go.
Now, Donald Trump recently has been celebrating in Saudi Arabia. He's planning to accept a new plane from them. He got plenty of time to nap, and now he's just living it up in Saudi Arabia. However, it seems the celebration has been cut short. That's right, because Wall Street Journal dropped a scathing report on Donald Trump, and it completely crashed his party.
Well, crashed his party in Saudi Arabia. Well, the gift was from Qatar. And that gift was nearly $500 million of airplane. What kind of airplane? The kind that speaks to Trump's vanity. Gold-plated staircases, chandeliers, shower stalls, bathroom fixtures, gold everywhere. Gold for the guy who loves gold. Gaudy gold. Not John Gotti. G-A-U-D-Y, gaudy. As in way over the top, excessively ornamented, tasteless, perhaps even bordering on vulgar. So what's Trump doing accepting a luxury jet which he wants to turn into Air Force One? Of course, you can't do that because Air Force One is specially rigged and protected with all kinds of defense mechanisms. So, yeah, not going to be at Air Force One, although that's what Trump says. So what's it all about? It's simply graft, corruption. It's taking money, bribery in any other language. It's so obvious and so corrupt, and yet it's in plain sight. And it's not like you can hide a big jet. So it's hiding in plain sight on a runway somewhere, a gift. Why? Well, maybe we'll learn a little bit more as we go on this clip.
Get to how exactly Wall Street Journal crashed Donald Trump's party in just a moment. But first, are you guys aware of something absolutely mind-boggling? Even Newsmax, the most conservative publication, is turning against Donald Trump.
But what do you think of accepting this gift?
I really don't like this. I gotta say, it makes me really uncomfortable. And it's not just that, this is not a gift. This is Qatar giving a bribe. And I don't think President Trump would capitulate to anything that they asked him to. But that doesn't mean that it's not below the appearance of a conflict of interest. And I'll just say one more thing. Watching how quickly the Qataris were able to get Idan Alexander released, obviously, I'm so grateful to God and so grateful to President Trump for getting this man out of Hamas captivity where he was tortured.
Well, that's sort of where we're going with this. Even Newsmax, One American News Network, and Fox are having problems with Trump lately. He's over the top, outrageous in his corruption, flagrant violations of the Emoluments Clause that says no president should make money from the office of the presidency. Well, it seems like, I told you so. Is that going to ring hollow these days? We told you so to the Trump supporters back in 2016. The Trump supporters in 2020 who were still saying, give the guy a chance. He won the election. It was rigged. Of course he won. And in 2024, the vengeance tour of Donald Trump, where he takes the reins of every organization, every branch of government, and controls everything with former Fox News anchors and hosts taking control of agencies. It's an unbelievably corrupt situation. And Wall Street Journal has a little expose on that corruption. And this is, where shall I find it? The Wall Street Journal, the excerpt is from reporting in the news stream from Yahoo News. Yahoo, yeah, I'm an original Yahoo News feed. Are they considered mainstream media now, Yahoo News? Anyway, the story's reported, so Wall Street Journal is the source. And what they are doing is talking about Trump's claim about the golden age of economic growth for America, that his Make America Lonely Again tour is supposed to be doing for America. We're going to be so rich and everybody else is going to be paying for us. The tariffs are going to solve everything. We're going to have so much money coming in, we won't even have income tax anymore. So says Donald Trump. So the Wall Street Journal hit back on that claim of the golden age and Trump tariffs and whatever he hoped to accomplish. And they published this, especially after the capitulation, after peaking at 145% tariffs on China. Then we learned that they're lowering them all down to what, 10%, 25%? I forget what the number is. But the Wall Street Journal reported it as this. The Wall Street Journal's conservative editorial board on Monday, so that's just a few days ago, cheered President Donald Trump's climb down from his mega tariffs on China, busting the White House spin as a win by describing it in their op-ed as more surrender than victory. Quote, rarely has an economic policy been repudiated as soundly and as quickly as President Trump's so-called Liberation Day tariffs, and by Mr. Trump's own hand, wrote the newspaper whose board has been a fierce critic of Trump's second-term trade policies, particularly his tariffs. So there you go. When you lose your conservative support, you're no longer conservative. When you have moved beyond even conservative media's ability to swallow the pills that you are trying to force down everybody's throat, you need a reality check. So if there are any Trump supporters still in existence anywhere, I gotta say this reporting should lay it all to rest. So that's the Wall Street Journal talking about Trump's boast of his economic golden age for America, which was based on tariffing everybody in the world, and then he was forced to back down because, China's calling? China is calling? Well, Xi Jinping denied calling anybody. And I don't even know if they received any call from the president. So how did that go down? Trump claimed, yeah, they're lined up. All these nations, I got 90 deals in 90 days. I got 200 deals ready to go. And there are only 130 some odd countries who may be interested in working some kind of trade or relationship with Trump. But don't let the facts get in the way of your feelings. At least that's the expression that seems apropos to this revenge tour of Donald Trump, where he goes after his enemies, goes after law firms, goes after people who supported the Russia, goes after all the people who tried to hold him accountable. But if you're on a MAGA world, planet where MAGA caps are worn, you don't believe any of that stuff. You believe it's all a hoax and persecuting the poor President Donald Trump. Give the guy a chance, will you? What's with the relentless attacks on Trump? How about what's with the relentless pursuit of truth and justice? Justice? Yes, as in due process, as in you'll have your day in court, as in Trump did and was found guilty of 34 counts of felony fraud in New York, and then the MAGA world is erupting by saying, yeah, it's a rigged jury, they're all Democrats anyway. It doesn't matter what you say. MAGA is a cult. It's all in your head. Trump derangement syndrome, Trump cult syndrome. Even the Wall Street Journal's had enough, so has One America News, and the conservative media seem to be waking up. You know you've lost them when your support on TV goes out the window. The Jim and Terry Show signing off for another day of Beyond Belief, Tales from the Crypt.